Okay, with the tweet out, that would be a cue for us to introduce ourselves. So, hello and welcome to the F1 stream here for round 6 at USA. I am today joined by Paco Suarez. Jared is not here today, sleeping because of the 24 hour.
No, let's be serious. He was fired. I mean, his job was questionable. He was fired. Now the king is... No, alright. Let's not be kidding. Yeah.
Well, anyway though, the best overtaking opportunities, as was said in the FP stream, as I also did that not a few days ago. So yeah, turn 1 and turn 12, the back straight at the end there, the two best and most likely overtaking opportunities. It doesn't really look like anywhere else, as we're seeing Lewis Curtis go around. I'm not sure if you were on board with him, Paco, but a little bit of a back end loss going through sector 1, and that's really his lap gone.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I have to say that sector 1 is probably one of the trickiest, you know, and just after finishing the first sector, that exit, you really have to watch out for the back end of the car, because you can easily lose it. I think this track is quite tricky because it has long straights, and in order to do the setup, you know, you have to be careful in order to not put that little wings, as we see done with 1:30.2. Good time.
Yeah, and going on from your point about the this first sector being tricky, I can imagine these top guys would be running a lot more over series of setups as Thomas Tropies now goes pole. But with the faster guys, they tend to usually have more over series setups, a looser back end to try and gain time on turning, which can make it a little bit more difficult going through this first sector. So maybe you could see some spins here and there going through this twisty S section.
Yeah, definitely. As we see already 7 drivers setting a lap. Well, actually 8, although we can see that Luis and the Irish driver in AlphaTauri, their times are not quite competitive. Probably just bunkers.
Yeah, most likely. 29.2s, I'm sure they'll be going quicker than that by the end of this. But the early advantage does go to Thomas Tropies, as Matthews there just puts it up into P4. I saw a few people in 29s right now. That surely will change, as I said, by the end of this quali session. But we'll try and find someone. Matthew Walder's coming to the final corner, and he's going to go 9th on medium, so quickest of the mediums, no surprise there. And Charlie Kingdon here, or I think it's Kingdon. I am sorry, I will have a look before the race, but I'm going to go with Charlie Kingdon for now. And it looks like he's invalid.
Actually, it is Kongdon, but
Kongdon,
yeah.
okay. Well, guess that's solved.
But don't worry. It seems like everyone have completed their first attempt. I don't know if Charlie might go for another run on those mediums, if he has enough fuel for it.
It seems that he is going slowly. He is trying to keep that ERS nice and topped up, but we'll see. He's going to come through the final corner now. Yeah, he is actually going to go for another lap. If you want to take it up, Paco.
Alright. Well, he started his laps in 7th gear. Really important to not lock up that much on this first corner, as we can see Pedro joining. Really important yet exit here. You cannot lose the back end that much, because if not, you lose a lot of time. This S section, pretty important to not invalidate. Really easy to do so, as he does. And that's the end of his lap.
Yeah, that was a little short-lived, as I've just seen Lewis Marshall and Sondre saying hi in the chat, so good evening, guys.
Yeah, good evening to them. Actually, Sondre is always there, you know, doesn't matter what he's doing.
Yeah, you'll always get a good evening in, no matter what.
Yeah, loyal viewer.
Yeah, very loyal viewer. Logan Aaron, it seems, is on an out lap. A few people actually are. There's an Alfa Romeo and Red Bull. We'll try and find the Red Bull.
I think the AlphaTauri from... No, I think he's going into the pits, right? Yeah, so he is not the first one to start the lap. It will be the Alfa Romeo, right, then?
Charlie... He's...
No, because he's finishing.
Yeah. So it's going to be one of the Hasses. Or it looks like a Haas.
Yeah, that probably. Yeah, that is the first one, and behind his teammate.
So we've finally found someone on the lap anyway. He's going to be coming through the final corner now. I don't think that was actually a lock-up. We'll put that down to Codemasters, but he's going to be going up the hill, very much up. Upward braking makes the braking zone a little shorter as well. Going into turn 1, a nice run out of the exit. A little bit hesitant on the throttle, maybe having not the best exit, but he's going to come through sector 1 and he's already invalidated. So we're going to go straight to his teammate. That's Logan Aaron now. Also coming through sector 1, he'll have his teammate just in front of him. Maybe they might be doing a little bit of slipstream, yeah. As a McLaren seems to be splitting them right now, so might not be as viable as an option as it maybe could have been. But he's going to be coming through the final corner, going up to the back straight. The McLaren gets out of the way nicely for him. Going down into turn 12, his teammate is still there, but it doesn't look like they're going to be doing any slipstream today, so he's going to be coming through to finish sector 2. We'll see how much up on his time he is, or actually he hasn't set a time, so he's going to be setting a 1 minute 5 in the first 2 sectors collectively, so we'll see how this fares for him at the end of this lap. He's on the soft, so it should be fairly competitive. Logan usually up there, going through the fast right-hander, and we'll follow him through into the penultimate and final corner as there's someone going to the pits. That must be his teammate there, as he invalidated. Logan's not going to invalidate. We'll see how he does. A P4 from Logan at 29.8, so another person getting in 29, top 5, achieving a 29. Everyone else just outside. I'm sure that people will be improving, as Julio also on a lap, if you want to take him back up for the end.
Alright, yeah, he's about, well, he's still on the second sector, although he's about to finish it. I have to say that I really like this, 10th up. Actually, the games showed it purple, but I'm not sure about that. And I have to say I really like this section of the track, because on this turn right here, there are so many ways of taking it, you know, and gaining time. As we can see now, this triple left-handed corner, more or less, we could say so. And here the exit is really, really important, as he locks up a little bit. But what will be the time as he runs out of ERS? And that's a 129.8, enough to, well, he keeps 6. Someone went up, that's Lewis, right?
Curtis, yep. Yeah. With a 29.6, quite a bit off Thomas and Rocco, and Matthew hasn't even set a fast lap on his softs either. So we could be seeing a mid-28 from Matthew, as he usually goes quite a bit faster than the rest of the grid. Lewis, usually the closest challenger, at least in quali, he seems to be able to be up there with Matthew Walder, as we saw in Monaco as well. Very small margin between the two.
Ooh! That's, I'm not sure of his name, I should have the spreadsheet here, that's my bad, but the McLaren driver, and not Patrick, just was on a really good lap, but he locked up badly, so he went deep and he was going to go into the pits, but he almost crashes into the wall.
Yeah, just about caught the end of that there. So unfortunate for him, but on the flip side, he is 5th with a 29.7, so a strong lap time for now, and he
on the McLarens
certainly will have a final lap to go for as well, as Matthews improves and goes P4 with a 29.6. I think he was on the ones already in the 29s. I'm not completely sure on that.
It's Matthew or Mateus?
I call him Matthews.
I would say that if he's Brazilian, I would say Mateus. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna, argue. But
I mean,
we're gonna keep him calling Matthew if he hasn't complained. Right?
I'd say you're probably more right. I mean, you'd be more used to these kind of names. given that you're Spanish. The languages are a little different, of course, but I would say that you're probably right there. So we'll go with Mateus and see what happens.
Maybe I'm wrong, and then he writes in the chat, you know, why you switched my name, you know? But yeah, right now, if you want to see a lap, I think Dan, it's on a lap with the Haas, as he is now on the... Oh, right, never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say go on a lap with Mateus. He's coming through Sector 3 right now to do the triple right-hander here. A kind of double apex corner, if you will. And he's actually invalidated, so
yeah, but,
he's going to be coming into the pits.
But he wasn't using ERS. He was on mode 0.
Well, then maybe he was just on an in-lap then. Actually, he was, because he was on ones who improved.
And meanwhile...
And Kieran McDonald
Pedro
is taking a trip off the track, being a bit adventurous. Must have spun in Sector 1. We were talking about that at the start, so certainly possible to do if you're pushing too much.
And Pedro also invalidated. He was on a lap with a Renault. And he keeps trying. I don't know if he has another set of softs, but it seems like Pedro doesn't feel comfortable at all, as he hasn't set up a lap yet, and it's only 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and as well, you talk about the fresh tires that you'd have. Matthew Waller still hasn't gone out for a second lap. He's still in the pits as well. He's only still a lap on mediums, down in the 13th, so he must be waiting right till the end and hoping that his one lap on softs will be enough for pole. I mean, he is certainly quick enough to do it, but with the amount of people invalidating, and Matthew does have a history of invalidating in quali, maybe he might be starting near the back.
It's actually, I mean, Matthew, this proves, you know, the confidence, the self-confidence, you know, that he has. Because I wouldn't do that, you know, I would need 3 runs at least, you know, to gain confidence and improve the lap, you know, bit by bit. But this shows that he doesn't need more than 1 lap to actually set a good lap. I think it's going to be really, really good to see what he does. As we can see, plenty of people invalidating the McLaren.
Charlie, I found, is on a valid lap right now. He's finishing up Sector 2. He is up by 9/10, so almost a second. So you would expect this to be a little more representative. Surely he made a mistake on his first lap, going through the second sector at some point. So we'll continue on with him through the triple right-hander, if you want to call it that. And he's got a little bit of traffic up ahead, but I don't think it'll affect him at all, as he goes a little wide, and he's going to invalidate. And he's going to go straight into the pit lane as De Williams gets very close to the pit wall. Seems to be a kind of common theme. I hear now and then that people miss the USA pit lane, and I'm surprised when people do it, but I guess if it's possible, then it's possible.
And just to now, Julio is on a lap. He's about to finish second sector. He just improves marginally, and he's now heading to this double left-handed corner. Really difficult, easy to lock up. Reminds me to the Bahrain one in terms of lockup. And here you really have to watch out, because you have to keep your car really close to the right side of the track. And this exit really tricky, because you can invalidate it really easily, as he runs out of ERS as well. But he sets a 1:29.6, that's 2:10 faster and enough to be 5th.
Yeah, and I'm sure he might be a little annoyed though, because if you look, the 2 guys ahead of him barely ahead. There's only hundreds between them, only like 300-400 hundredths maximum. So very close between 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, that's actually, you know, it pisses me off a lot, you know, when you're so close from improving someone's time, and just by one detail, by one tiny detail, you could have improved. I don't know if you're on board with Luis.
I am. I think we have a similar mind with you to go on board with. We're going on board with everyone the same at this point, but yeah, you can take him.
Yeah, I mean, he's finishing second sector. He didn't improve in the first one. He doesn't improve in the second one.
Down in the second one as well.
Yeah, doesn't seem like he's gonna improve. I mean, unless he pulls out a masterclass, you know, in this last sector, I think it's gonna be P3 for him.
Yeah, that's how it's looking. So if he does improve, we'll see, I guess, but I don't think he will.
Yeah.
As Brandon Glover just going slowly, actually, he's letting people through.
Yeah, and Luis didn't improve, he just lost it at the exit of the penultimate corner.
Yeah, I've gone on board with Spreen. There's a lot of people on laps behind him. Seems a bit like a cluster, so hopefully people won't get mixed up in. Actually, there you go, Spreen hasn't validated. There's going to be people behind him. The Ferrari of Oli Flavel on an outlap, so seems to be very mixed. People on outlaps and flying laps, so I'm sure that train is quite mixed up right now.
I think you should take a look to Rocco. He's about to finish the first sector. And purple as well.
Yeah, improving on what is already provisional pole. His teammate Matthew Alder finally did come out for a lap, so he is looking for this one lap that will take him from the back straight up to pole. So we'll see if that happens for Matthew, but we'll stay on board with Rocco Walsh opening DRS here on the back straight. Nice, slightly angled to the right this straight as Thomas improves to a 29.1, I think there, or it looked like he improved.
No,
he just
he's
started
still
a lap
on his
actually.
lap. He's still on his lap, yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, he just started a lap, never mind. I saw something happen at the top. Anyway, Rocco Walsh improving in Sector 2 now. I didn't see by how much, but he was purple. And I would believe that given that he is only second there. Going through the penultimate corner now. Very crucial to get this corner right. He's going to go through the final corner. We'll see if he can take provisional pole away from Thomas. No, he can't. He doesn't improve. He was a 10th improvement, it seems. He wasn't too far off, but it wasn't enough. And Thomas Tropes now is going to come across the line. He improves to 29.0.
Pedro went up to third.
And Matthew Alder coming through the final corner. You would be expecting him to be someone on pole, but no. A 30.0 from Matthew. Puts him lap bang 11th. I mean, it's not a bad starting position.
Yeah, I mean, he can choose strategy. He will have fresher tires than the top 10. But quite surprising. He had to make that mistake on the third sector.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of noticed he seemed to be taking the last corner really calmly. Maybe he slowed down right at the end to get the gap to put himself 11th. But anyway, Thomas Tropes takes pole position here in round 6 ahead of Rocco Walsh and Pedro Sousa. Logan Aaron takes 4th, Tiger 5th, Lewis Curtis 6th, Mateo 7th, Kieran McDonald 8th, Julio 9th, Patrick 10th, and then outside the top 10, Matthew, Joey, Brandon, Spreen, Ollie and Charlie.
Just as a little fact, I took a look to the sectors of Thomas and Matthew Alder. Matthew Alder was faster in Sector 1, Sector 2, but as you said, he made a mistake on the third sector.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually say mistake as much as it was intentional, because I was going to say in FP we did see some people getting punctures right at the end of their medium stints, so maybe he's looking to start outside of the top 10 to get fresher tyres so he can pull off the one stop without worrying about his tyres blowing up like some people did. I think Rocco Walsh had it happen in FP, or it was a Racing Point at least, that it happened to go just as he went into pit lane only a few days ago. So maybe Matthew's taking a leaf out of that book and trying to avoid it today.
Yeah, I mean, and we also know that he has enough pace to do it, so I think he knows that he has the pace, he knows that he can go on a alternate strategy, and he will definitely try something different in order to not risk the race. It's simply Matthew, you know. We know that he's gonna make a great comeback.
Yeah, as you would expect, as the predicted pit stop strategies are two stop, but I don't think anyone would really be going for that unless they get damage. But we do have Thomas Tropes leading the pack away for the formation lap ahead of Rocco Walsh. These two seem to find themselves on a similar parts of the track, at least in the early stages of the race, because they seem to qualify quite close together. They're not too far away from each other on pure pace, and obviously you would be expecting Matthew to be leading them away with people like Pedro and Rocco behind, but today, of course, it is different. We have a Red Bull on pole. Last time that happened in real life, a Red Bull won, so you never know.
Just out of curiosity, what's your prediction for the top 3?
That is interesting. With Matthew being where he is and being who he is, I'm going to say that he'll take the alternate strategy to the win. Rocco Walsh takes a P2 for Racing Point 1-2, and Thomas Tropes drops to 3rd.
I think Rocco is gonna finish 1st. Matthew is gonna finish 2nd. I think Rocco has enough pace to be ahead, and I'm gonna put Pedro in 3rd.
So, something happens to Thomas then, you're thinking?
I don't trust his pace. I mean, I know he's fast. I know, that he's really, really good. But I don't know. I feel that Pedro could actually surprise us, with a good drive, and maybe finish ahead of Thomas.
Well, a prediction is a prediction, and if anyone in the chat, I did actually see Eric there. I meant to say hi, so hello, Eric. He said, "Let's go, champ," in the chat. So I'm assuming he's referring to Matthew Alder there, who's starting in 11th place. So maybe Matthew has a bit of a fan base going in the chat. But if anyone has any predictions to get in just before we start for the 5 red lights here at USA, the camera should correct itself, as it usually does at least.
Interesting angle I have.
There we go. So 5 red lights for the USA Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go, and it looks like Rocco Walsh has actually got a good start. He's side by side with Thomas Tropes into turn 1. Logan Arend also getting quite a good start, getting a bit of a jump on Pedro Sousa. He goes through for 3rd. Thomas Tropes defends from Rocco Walsh. He just about keeps his P2, and actually Pedro coming back on Logan there. So he must have had a better exit to keep his P3, so the top 4 remain the same. Tiger sticking in 5th, actually the top 6 really. More or less the same. I think Matthew's maybe dropping a position down to P8. Matthew Alder's still stationary in P11 on those mediums, or at least I would assume they're mediums. I'm sorry, I didn't actually get this information up at the start.
Oh, the Renault tries to move from the outside. Yeah, it's mediums, and he had a horrible start, and he had to gain back the positions in the first corner, which he did greatly.
Yeah, I just saw a little battle. It is Lewis Curtis versus Tiger here. Tiger's going to try and go around the outside. Logan Aaron just wide in front, and he's going to get pushed wide. Yeah, you mentioned the 3 wide. Kieran McDonald coming out of nowhere to go down the inside. He's going to have the outside for the next corner, and now this very tricky corner. The inside usually superior, or you'd expect it to be. He squeezes him out on the exit, and he's going to keep that position. And actually now he's going to try and go down the inside of Matthews there, and actually gets a double overtake in 2 corners, 2 positions in 2 corners, that is, for Kieran McDonald. So a nice little run there to get up a few positions for him.
I love how we were commentating, different battles. You were commentating that battle ahead. Meanwhile, behind there was a 3-way between Bran, Ollie and Charlie, which was impressive, and in the end Brandon gained the position to the Alfa Romeo, but somehow he's lost the place again to Charlie and Ollie.
Yeah, it seems maybe the medium's not working as well for some people. Is that Matthew? No, it's not. There's some people ghosting, so that's not actually fixing itself. He is in 11th. I got a little surprised there. I was going to say maybe the medium's not working for some, and then Matthew Waller in 5th, but no, he's not in 5th. He's actually still in 11th place, holding his own, probably waiting for an opportunity. As Joey is actually on the mediums as well. He is in 9th. On par with Matthew in terms of strategy.
Yeah,
so Joey must have had quite a good start.
Yeah, I mean, he has a really great start, and that could be really crucial for the race.
Yeah, indeed it could be. As the top two, it looks like they're actually separated now by just about a second. So Thomas really getting a move on here. He doesn't want Matthew Walder anywhere near him. He wants to get away from the pack as early as possible. As you said, oof, I did not see...
Mateus was about to try a risky move down the inside on the double left-handed corner, and he almost hits the back of the
Williams
AlphaTauri.
There. Patrick gets through. Joey had a little bit of a moment coming out of the penultimate corner there, and now he's actually on the back foot. Matthew Walder might be able to make a move now. Going into turn one, doesn't look like any moves happening ahead. Matthew Walder could actually dive it down the inside. The two on the mediums, the two leading on the mediums, really. Joey's going to keep it on the exit as just a little bit better of an exit, but now Matthew really all over him. He's trying to make moves, but 3 laps in, Matthew hasn't made up a position, which is not like Matthew, I can't lie.
Yeah, Matthew is really taking it cautious, and I have to say there, he was about to hit Joey's rear, but he just held it behind cleanly, and I have to say I'm impressed because Matthew would usually, just dive it as he almost hits again the rear of Hugh.
Oh, you were saying, Paco?
Yeah, taking it cautious, yeah. I just jinxed it, but yeah. I'm actually intrigued by how he's gonna react. As we can see ahead, they dive from Mateus. The AlphaTauri tries to hold it round the outside now, and the Red Bull dives his locks up a little bit as he loses a little bit the back end, but they're still side by side. Meanwhile, the McLaren enjoying a really nice view of the battle ahead, as the Red Bull tries to have a good exit, but it's not enough, and at the moment it's Kieran who holds 6.
Yeah, nice defending from Kieran to get that switchback, crucial switchback at the exit of turn 12. And now this the McLaren of Tiger, I'm going to get his name now because I meant to get it and I kind of forgot.
It's Nicholas.
It is annoying. Nicholas, yeah. I knew his name as well, I just kind of forgot it. I did actually have a look at it last week, but he is trying to go around the outside now of Matthews, and he's going to try the switchback like Kieran did on Matthews, but he's not going to have the same success in getting the switchback done, and he's going to have to stick behind in Sector 1. Matthew Walder, by the way, still following closely. Joey is actually falling off Patrick, so maybe Matthew will be able to make a move now that Joey doesn't have the DRS advantage anymore on these two McLarens ahead of him, as the two McLarens following closely behind the two the sister teams, really. Running in 6th and 7th, while the other Red Bull leading out in front 1.7 seconds now. So he's really pushing on to get this win.
Yeah, but he has to watch out, because those tires last really shortly, as we can see the Red Bull, round the outside, tries to look up. Yeah, Mateus, but they make contact, and now it's the AlphaTauri round the outside. He tries to do the same he did in the previous lap, but is he going to hold it? No, he didn't have enough traction, and we can see now the McLaren all over the back of the AlphaTauri. I mean, these 4, are bringing some good emotion into the race, and I think this is going to hold on for the whole race.
Yeah, it seems that they're certainly not getting tired of battling each other, especially Matthews and Kieran in the two sister cars. I guess both trying to show that one sister car is superior to the other. Right now, to see Red Bulls are leading ahead of the lone AlphaTauri. Actually, I've just realised Kieran not actually having his teammate present today. It seems as Brandon Glover and Charlie may be going side by side. They are going to go side by side in at the exit of turn 1. We'll go on board with Charlie, who's on the inside. He's on the softs as well. It's kind of a recipe for disaster unless someone backs out, and Charlie was good enough to back out there. So mature driving really from Charlie.
Smart driving, I have to say, because some people would be just too dumb to try the move, But he backed off, and both of them are still in the race.
Always have to respect driving like that. Exactly. As the fight for second looks like nothing's really going to be happening here. We'll go back to the fight where things have been happening in recent laps, and it looks like they're actually quite spread out now. The two McLarens getting a little close together. Nicholas actually getting quite close to the back of Kieran McDonald, but nothing going to come of it, so he's just trying to close up a little bit more.
I thought he could really have the traction there, to try the move here, but yeah, he couldn't really make it. But it seems like Mateus it's pulling away. Like he has more pace than Kieran.
Yeah, Mateus, of course, is having a little bit of clear error as well to his little advantage there, and I'm sure in Sector 1, if you can have a good Sector 1, with Kieran getting a little bit of dirty air within a second, I'm sure he'd get some sort of effect from it. Maybe Mateus could...
Oh, Matthew.
Oh, is he going to be making a move? No, actually.
He tried.
He
tried,
certainly
but
tried.
Joey
I can
gained
tell
it back,
that.
yeah.
Maybe he went for a dive, did you see it?
I think he did. I couldn't see it, but I think he did. By the way, he exited the turn. The corner, yeah.
Yeah, so Matthew really trying to get a move on, but still running
really
P11 in the 6 laps that we're on lap 6, we finished 5 laps now, and he's still not able to make a move. As actually, I say that, he is making a move now, and he has actually made it into the hairpin of turn 11, so he's finally getting a little bit of a move on him maybe now, with the guys in front of him. That was the pack of 4 that we were commentating over earlier, with Mateus leading it. Maybe now with Mateus kind of breaking a duct of not getting overtakes, you can push on and start getting through this field.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see, that we have like different groups. We have the group for second between Rocco, Pedro, Logan, and Luis. Then we have the battle for 6. Between Mateus, Kieran, Nicolas, Patrick, Matthew, and also Hugh. But yeah, then we have also Julio, Oli, and after that it's Brad, Dan, and Charlie. I mean, it's all like packed up together. They're really tight in terms of pace.
Yeah, they certainly are. And also the battle for second. There's 3 cars. Looks like maybe Lewis is falling a little bit off the train. Actually, no, never mind. It looked a little different from the off-board perspective. But from second through 5th also quite close together. And if Matthews can close up that gap, maybe the guys in front start fighting a little. Visually, it's not too big of a gap, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was within that 1 second gap. We could see a fight for second from second down to 8th. Well, even we could actually see the whole grid running in an entire train. If you look at them momentarily, they were on the same straight. So
yeah, indeed. I mean, I think that what helped, the first group to pull away was the battle between Mateus and Kieran. If that didn't happen, we would be talking about another fight, as Matthew overtook Patrick on the previous straight, and he's now behind Nicolas. So it seems like those mediums are starting to work better than the softs, and it's not going to be long until the soft runners start thinking about pitting. As we can see, actually Rocco and Luis going for the undercut on Thomas.
Yeah, and we'll get a look on what tires they go onto now. It's going to be very interesting. You would assume hards, but mediums have been done from mediums to softs in FP, but no, the hards go on, and it looks like it is for both of them, so they are going to be looking to get ahead of Thomas through this undercut. Julio as well, as you said, going for an undercut, so they're trying to do everything to get ahead of Thomas, who was actually like a second, maybe 2 seconds ahead, or thereabouts before the pit stop. So we'll see how strong an undercut can be around here.
Matthew doing the same move he did to Hugh, and he does it now to Nicolas. Really good exit, and he just overtakes it before the DRS zone, and he actually has DRS. So impressive move by Matthew that has already done the same move twice, and now he's behind Kieran. But look at the McLaren just trying again. Is he going to send
that's Logan Aaron actually fight for second there. He's gone down the inside and taken P2 off Pedro Sousa. You were talking about a McLaren as well. Doesn't look like any moves happened though. Or actually, Tiger. Wait, no, never mind.
Nicolas.
He did. He did actually pass him. A little confused with the amount of battles already happening at once, to be honest. But Yeah, Matthew now in
Thomas
P6. So we'll
And
see.
yeah, everyone is
it.
pitting behind except Mateus, which holds on. Well, probably because his teammate pitted as well. Although I think he would have time to do the pit. And I'm actually also intrigued by Julio because he did the undercut on all the guys ahead. So might he be ahead?
Rocco Walsh comes out of the final corner. You'll see Thomas Traupy's actually so far ahead. You can see him coming out of the pits now. So that undercut not working at all for Rocco Walsh.
Bigger,
and yeah, 4 seconds between them. So really no gain from that. And Thomas can really push on now with a comfortable lead. And also fresher tyres, so really he has every psychological advantage that he could possibly have right now.
And it doesn't seem like the undercut works in this track, because we can see that Julio, tried the undercut, but probably he has gained the position to Patrick if he had pitted, but he's almost on the same position as he was.
Yeah,
in terms
also,
of the battle he is facing.
Yeah, the leaders right now, Logan Arund, Pedro Matthews. Of course, Matthew is going to be staying out. He's on the mediums, most likely going onto a set of hards at the end to try and keep his tires in good condition the whole race through, and Patrick as well. All these top guys and softs leaving it another lap until lap 8. So actually, for now it may affect them badly as Pedro pits, and actually Logan Arund staying out. 9 laps on those softs, that's a long time to go on them.
Oh yeah, I don't know what to say. Maybe he's trying, to go for that safety car that here is almost impossible to see. I don't know.
Yeah, at the same time, we did see punctures in FP, so maybe he's trying to go a little longer, and if the people behind him end up having tyre struggles, maybe Logan won't have the same struggle and he'll be able to push on that a little bit more at the end of the race. Any little edge at the end of the race can be quite significant. So we'll see how that develops by the end of this race, but the fact is he's the last soft runner to pit with Matthew 2.4 seconds behind him.
Yeah, I mean, it seems... I have to say that right now I'm intrigued by the strategy that Logan is gonna follow, but meanwhile behind we can see that Thomas, unless he loses some time with Dan and fight ahead, because right now Dan has some DRS from Brad, I think that's the race over from Rocco and even for Matthew. If you had any hope, that he would fight for the win.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas having that extra lap over Rocco Walsh behind him as well. This, I mean, I already said it, but there's every advantage available to Thomas.
Julio ahead
it's
of Patrick,
in Thomas's favour. He gets to get out of people. As Julio had a puncture going to the pit lane, or
no, they're fighting right now. I mean, Patrick is sending it down the inside, and they're still fighting. I don't know if you can see the battle.
Yeah, I'm watching now.
As they go side
Logan
by side.
finally pits.
Yeah. He would probably lose a lot of time, and he goes too hard. Surprised he didn't try the medium if he went that long, but yeah.
We'll see how long Matthew takes his mediums as a kind of a little kind of marker of how long the mediums realistically could go. I know on last game you'd take them 18 laps and then the softs the rest of the way, but tyre wear is a little higher on this game on some tracks, and this certainly is one of them, as you can actually get punctures around here now trying to do a one-stop. So we'll see Thomas actually getting past Dan now. So he's making a move, getting a move on at least. It'll be interesting to see how long the medium runners do stay out, because if some of them pit at the right time, Rocco might not be held up as much as Thomas is, as Thomas really in a sandwich now. Brandon Glover just ahead of him, so he's gonna have to stick behind for an entire sector. Rocco Walsh on the flip side is in clean air, so he's gonna be able to close up just a little bit going through this final sector.
And well, I think right now there are like two main questions that remains. will Pedro will be able, to keep his tires running till the end? And will he gain the position to Rocco?
As Thomas Straupes is actually going down the inside there, we did keep on board with him through the third sector, and he is going to go down the inside. Very easy move there, and now he can push on. And now also for Rocco Walsh, not only is he still 4 seconds behind that train that Thomas just cleared, he's also got to get past that train that Thomas just cleared. So Thomas is really going to be able to push on now, and no matter what, I mean, it's unlikely that Rocco's going to be able to get a double overtake done on both of them, so he's most likely going to be getting held up somewhere as Thomas is able to push on. As a 3.5 seconds, really, the gap hasn't really changed, so it doesn't look like Thomas was phased that much by getting past the slower cars. His next target up 3.5 seconds to Ollie Flavel.
Right now, unless there is a safety car or even a virtual in case Matthew pitted, I think this is Thomas' win, which would be a quite deserved win because, I mean, he has dominated.
And it's also I was gonna say something, but I'll put it in the bin. I completely forgot about it. So it would be a deserved win from Thomas if he can keep this pace up, and really it's kind of like game over for Matthew, is what I was actually going to say. If there's no safety car before Matthew comes in, he's going to be way too far off, as there's only 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds separating I added up that wrong. There's about 7 seconds separating Thomas and Matthew. Thomas is going to be closing up up until Matthew makes his stop, which will probably be, thinking about it, around lap 15, I would think. So Thomas is going to keep closing up, and then by the time Matthew pits, he's going to be just too far back, I think, unless Thomas makes a big mistake.
Well, it seems like on the straight, Pedro is going to have Rocco's position. Let's see how his exit on this corner is. I think he's going to do it. Really good traction from the medium tires. He switches on the overtake mode, but I don't think he's going to really need it. And he strikes past the racing point, and he is now up to P7. I think now he has some clear air, which is crucial, to keep those tires working, and that they keep running till the end. And I think this is a big downfall from Rocco. That doesn't seem like
Ollie Flavel, I'm sorry, but Ollie and Joey are going at it for second here. They're 5 seconds off Matthew, so they've clearly given up on Matthew. It's kind of like they're fighting for their own little win here. Joey coming out on top of it. Of course, we saw Joey ahead of Matthew in the opening stages of this race when they were running 10th and 11th. Is Ollie really closing up? He might go for a dive here, but no, he's going to stick behind. He was trying to be able to get a move, as Julio gets a 3-second penalty on that's the wrong Renault. I was going to say on those mediums, which would affect him, but no. Julio is running 14th, which he was one of the ones who pit a little later than others.
And only picking up a 3-second time penalty, which is now the same amount of penalties that has Hugh ahead. So now it's going to be a battle on track, so whoever finishes ahead will actually take the position.
Yeah, and look at this, Paco. Thomas has actually arrived at the battle for second. And Joey and Ollie are going to be fighting as hard as they want to for the second place, and it looks like Thomas is really going to get held up by this.
Yeah, this is going to help the guys behind massively as they made contact. Hugh tried to hold on down the inside now. The Ferrari will try to have a look. Oh, really good switchback from the Ferrari now, but he's going to be around the outside unless he tries sort of a switchback here, but he has to back off. And Thomas has lost actually a second to Pedro. So, yeah. If he doesn't, if they keep fighting, because they both have DRS, so they can more or less defend from Thomas. This is going to be a really, really problem. A really big problem for Thomas Straupes. as Ollie tries again
Ollie
down
back
the
down
inside.
the inside. It's a bit of a dive though, and Thomas is trying to get a bit of a switch back. It's like they're all trying to switch back each other simultaneously. That's never really going to work, as Joey tries to close up to Ollie, but Ollie's dive bomb kind of is going to work for him into turn 1, and he's going to take second place off Ollie. I'm getting the things mixed up, but Thomas now is going to have to stick behind for the entire first sector, and he also was stuck with them side by side through sector 3, so he's really getting held up now.
And that's what he cannot do, you know. I mean, he has the win on his pocket, you know. I mean, he has to really come down, try to just focus on the race and say, okay, I still have a big gap behind. I don't have to rush the move fast. We see Hugh trying round the outside. Ollie tries to hold it.
Yeah, Pedro in the background making move on Dan's screen, it looks like as well.
That's a really...
Thomas Trophy's down the inside. It was almost...
I think he's going to spin.
Oh, he almost did, I think, but... he just about saves it and keeps it on the track. Ollie, as there's a virtual safety car.
What's that for Matthew? He's just right on the pit. He's gonna pit, and that's now this got interesting.
Very lucky for him. He's kind of blessed here.
Really blessed. Hashtag blessed. Oh my god, and yeah, now
as of course Thomas is going to stay out. He's going to retain the lead, as that virtual safety car didn't actually help Matthew for his entire pit stop, but it did help him for the main chunk of it. He is on softs. Now that is interesting.
And Luis tried to move on down and make contact ahead.
Yeah, it looks like Lewis trying to go down the inside, maybe a bit of a late move contact as well, as Matthew re-emerges in P6, but softs though, is that the right choice?
It is, believe me it is. I mean, when you have this soft at the end of on the last stint, it's much better, you know, than having on the first stint. And he's gonna really gain, as we can see again, making for third time on the race, the same move. And he's now down the inside on Dan, he has the position gain, and he's now behind Reese. And it's gonna be interesting, because he will have to save the tires as well. He's right now, if we take a look to the leader gap, he's now 6.5 behind Thomas, who lost a lot of time with that battle. And yeah, definitely I think we have a race. We have a race.
Yeah, we certainly do have a race on our hands. Of course, Thomas Trophy's leading as Lewis Curtis gets a little out of sorts
really
on the exit, as Matthew Oil is going to try it down the inside, and he's gonna squeeze him out on the exit there, and he's gonna be up into P4, so he's gonna be pushing on, and now his teammate ahead of him. I can't imagine Rocco Walsh would make it too hard for him, and it kind of looks like now Matthew's gonna be breezing through this field.
Definitely he's taking it cautious.
Yeah, it looks like Rocco didn't, it looks like a lean mix maybe from Rocco to make sure his teammate can get through without any problems. And now Matthew up into P3.
From 6.8 at the exit of the pits, it's now to 5.5 in less of a lap. Incredible stuff from Matthew that he could perfectly win the race.
Pretty much, yeah. His softs aren't going to be going off anytime soon, and also there's the thing of him getting fastest lap as well. He's on the same tires as Joey and Brandon, but he's faster than both of them for sure. So we could take a win and fastest lap by the end of this race, but if he does or not, we'll see. As he's closing up to the back of Pedro Sousa here, Rocco Walsh falls out of the DRS already of his teammate.
And by the way, Ollie went into the pits, but yeah, it seems he didn't believe that the soft would end to the end, and Brandon is now gonna get past with the softs, and he's now in 12. Do you think Ollie did well in going into the hards? As we see contact there. Well,
I still have a little bit of... that's Kieran McDonald there.
And
dropping
Kieran,
positions.
well, yeah, Kieran and Nicolas, I think they both made contact.
Yeah, it looks like
the
must have been.
The McLaren has damage, yeah. So it was both of them.
But is he going to pit though?
Oof, Oli.
Wait, no. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, Nicholas did pit.
Yeah, he had a massive airplane damage, so yeah, he needed to pit. That's so unfortunate because they were both bringing out, you know, a good fight. I don't know what happened. Probably there will be reports.
And while we were talking about that, by the way, Matthew Walder got past Pedro.
Oh.
And he's already broken a second gap. And now it's only 2.5 seconds to Thomas Trophies. And oh my god, he caught 3/10 in one corner.
I mean, knowing Thomas, he's gonna try, you know, really, really hard to keep that position, because we could see, you know, in the battle between Oli and was that Hugh, you know, and yeah, and himself, he was trying stupid things. I mean, all my respect to Thomas, but I think he lost the race there. If Matthew tries to overtake him, I think Thomas, just as I saw before, he's gonna try, doesn't matter how, to keep that position. So I think it's gonna be a really interesting fight, despite the tire gap, although he's already... Nah, there's not gonna even be a fight.
I don't think he necessarily lost it while following behind the two. I mean, obviously he was trying to get a move on a little mistake at the same time, but you can't really plan for Matthew Walder getting a perfectly timed virtual safety car to be right behind you. Because if you look at Pedro, he's 3 seconds back. So if you take out Matthew Walder, Thomas really has played this perfectly given his circumstances. But given Matthew's, it's a blessing.
You say that, but and this changes completely the race, as we can see Matthew picking up a 3-second time penalty. So he will not only have to overtake Thomas on track, he will have to pull out a 3-second gap. Probably he will overtake it now. I don't know if he will do it before the straight or just on the straight. But as I was saying, you say that Thomas played out to perfection, but when you try,
I mean, considering I know maybe the move wasn't the greatest, as Matthew Waller's gonna pull to the left and move up into the first position. As we're just in the middle of the discussion, but also Lewis Curtis going down the inside of Rucker Walsh in a similar fashion, as Matthew did on Thomas just a few moments ago. But back to the Thomas thing. Yes, maybe that move wasn't what he needed, but I mean, even if he was able to, if that didn't happen, I don't think it would have gained him too much more. Maybe he could have stayed in front for this sector 3, but Matthew still would have got him in this straight, so it wouldn't have been that much different.
But the point I want to make is that when you're behind someone, you know, and you lose, because in the end the move he tried, you know, was because desperation, you know, he knew that he was losing a lot of time. But that's the thing, when you're behind and you're making those moves, it shows that you're not calm and that you're not focused on the race, you know, that you're just losing your head, you know. And that's why I think that if he had, you know, tried to think a little bit more and think, okay, here I can try something, or in here I can try this move, I think he would have probably get some time that in the end of the race could be crucial, because Matthew will lose his tires after lap 6, lap 7, and now he's on a 1.7 gap. So I don't know, probably we will never know what could have happened, you know. But I would also like to know, you know, the viewers' opinion. So those who are watching, leave the comments down below.
Yeah, I do have the stream up as well, so I'll be able to catch them anytime that a comment shows up. But we do move on. 2 seconds now between Matthew Walder and Thomas Trophies. I did actually notice as well, Thomas had quite a big cut on this lap in Sector 1, so he may be on his last warning, or maybe that was his first warning, you never know, but he certainly got a warning from the last lap anyway. I can almost put money on that. So maybe Thomas needs to keep it a little cautious now. Obviously Matthew has kind of 2 tokens, if you will, given that he does have a penalty, so he can get 2 warnings and get away with it as long as he doesn't get another one. So yeah, maybe Thomas needs to play it a little more cautiously.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought Pedro would actually be able, you know, with those mediums to catch Thomas. Yeah, sprint overtook. I mean, he's on the one up stop.
Because of a pit stop, I think.
Damage.
Is it?
But that's only
Yeah,
half
Ollie
damage
into the
though.
pit.
Oh, and he retires.
Oh well. And he leaves the session as well.
Interesting, Ollie.
He did actually have damage. He's getting a wing change there.
Yep, and that's the race over for Ollie. As we can see right now, the next battle we could have here, it's Brad.
Oh, and Thomas got a penalty.
Hugh.
So I was
yeah.
saying that he was probably on his last warning, and he's not going to be beating Matthew anymore. I don't think. He had a chance before, but maybe not now.
Meanwhile, we have here Brian trying to go for the move here. Is he gonna try the switchback? I think he is. He doesn't really have the exit he wants, but he's really close. And any mistake that Hugh does, I think it will be a chance that Brian will take, definitely.
Yeah, I am having a look at this battle here. Brandon seems to be quite punchy. Of course, both of them on equal tires, so it looks like Brandon Glover got through a few cars, I should say, to have these two close on the track at least.
Also, and look the IRS, because Brandon has almost 60%, while the Williams struggling with the energy.
Yeah, he certainly is. So it's not going to be helping him out at all for now. But we'll have a look again at this battle for P4. The Alfa Romeo and Racing Point. You would think that Lewis would have more points, given that he's always seems to be in these positions, but he isn't really in a championship fight. But these two have been close on pace quite a few times, and it's showing it again today that they are close on pace. As you were mentioning, Brendan, I will go to that battle now.
Yeah, it's a move like a rocket ship. And I don't know if he's gonna actually try to dive it again. No, he stays back. So that's the position for Brian, although I think this battle is gonna go on till the end of the race.
Yeah, it seems that, I mean, they're on equal tires, so there's no reason why this fight shouldn't go on to the end. 22 out of 28 as well. Always time for mistakes, but looks like them two are keeping it clean at least. And they're also pushing on to try and get ahead of Matthews there, because he's on 11 lap old hards, and you would expect these softs to be still in decent condition compared to hards. So you never know. Maybe we could see a fight developing for P6 between three drivers.
Yeah. And really, the fight for fourth right now, it's not really a fight. I mean, as long as Rocco keeps it clean, that I think is what he's trying to do. He's just ahead of Lewis by penalty, so he doesn't really need to risk it and go for the move. So, yeah, and that's another penalty. So yeah, Rocco just needs, to don't crash. So the only fight we could really see here is the one for 7th. But I think that Hugh is not going to be able to try to move back, because just looking at his ERS, if he doesn't save a little bit, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for him to try.
Yeah, that's certainly a good point. Of course, only 14% and that's at the end of the straight after braking. So really, once he gets to the end of the two straights, he's within his last 10%, which does give you slightly less power, which is why it's so easy to make overtakes, and probably why it was so easy for Brandon to make his overtake a few laps ago, with a lot more ERS at his disposal. So yeah, he's gonna have to save a little more if he wants to make this position back. Spreen gets a 3-second time penalty. I think that was the second one. We'll actually have a quick peek. That was not his second one, that was his 5th penalty. 15 seconds for Spreen, and 12 for Nicholas running behind him, but a little spread out it seems between them two, so maybe that won't make a difference to anything.
Yeah, probably it won't. Actually, I'm gonna take a look, a rundown through the penalties. I think it's a really good idea. Although, well, we can easily, well, never mind. I forgot that there was a function. You know, that you can actually see penalties from the of the game. So actually, Luis has 9 seconds. Didn't see he had. I thought he had 6, but it's 9. So yeah, definitely it could be Rocco's position, and this actually makes it interesting because Brandon would probably get Mateus, and maybe he might get Luis if he gets under a 6-second gap.
Yeah, it could be a possibility. Of course, Brandon pushing on, so it doesn't look like his softs are losing anything. Doesn't look like Matthew's softs has lost anything either. 25 out of 28 here, 8 laps old, but they're fine really. They're still gaining time. I mean, at least someone who definitely is Matthew. Brandon also closing up to the back of Matthew, so these old hards are really not able to contend with these old softs.
Yeah, right now 3 laps remaining. Doesn't seem like there's gonna be a fight ahead unless Matthew has a puncture. And that's Lewis Hamilton, you know, crossing the finish line under 3 wheels. But yeah, it seems
his records certainly look a bit like Schumacher, but I think he'd rather them be compared to yeah, no, I said never mind. I meant to say Hamilton, and then he'd rather them be compared to Schumacher, but I said Schumacher first, so I said it the wrong way around. But yeah, he'd probably like his records to be kind of mirroring Schumacher's here in IRL, and he's continuing on now to potentially get another win here unless something significant happens.
Yeah, and we can see yellow flags. Is that? I think it was the Haas. Yeah, the Haas lost plenty of time to Hugh. Oh, no, actually it was the other way around. Hugh lost a lot of time to the Haas, and actually he got overtaken by the Haas.
Yeah, 7 seconds between them. There maybe was a maybe a bit of contact. Doesn't look like he has any wing damage.
No,
but he's actually going to be coming to the pit anyway.
Oh.
Or he's...
He tried to crash there.
Yeah, I mean, he retired straight after, so it looks like he maybe did, or maybe he missed the pit lane. I mean, to be fair, it is possible to miss it, apparently. I don't know why it is, but people miss it.
Well, could probably be, but when you suddenly turn right, you know, when you have to turn left, I don't know, I don't know.
I mean, but, in the words of Lightning McQueen, you know, turn right to go left.
Yeah, right now we can see
Rocco just actually a good timing. Yeah. He's going down the inside of Lewis Curtis there.
Rocco
and he's up into P4 on track.
And Bran, yeah, now Bran also P6, so on track as well, so yeah.
Yeah, so maybe a little life has actually been injected here on lap 26 out of 28. Of course, there is Humongous' car stricken in Sector 2 as he retired it. Debatable if he was trying to retire it by crashing, but
no, but that was, but he went into the pits and the AI just get out again.
Yeah. Anyhow, though, Lewis and Rocco, of course, Rocco just making that move. They are on equal.
I mean,
laps old hards. So
Probably Rocco believes that he can finish on the podium. That's why he made the move, and he's gonna try to get that gap under the 3 seconds. You know,
yeah, there's only 3.4 seconds there. I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind, maybe Rocco could close that gap if Lewis was able to get a little bit of a move on, or if Rocco passed him. But Rocco has passed him, excuse me. And there's only 2 tenths in it.
And Brani is also gonna finish P6 probably if he doesn't bottle and his tires holds. So good comeback.
Good things happening here at the end of this race. The fight for podium certainly isn't over. I mean, Matthew could still have a puncture. You never know. Those softs are quite old. So we'll see what happens. But it looks like Matthew is comfortable out there anyway. So you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be getting a puncture, especially when he's leading like this. Like when he's out in front, he's a different breed. Really, he's not human, as I'm sure everyone's heard that before. Matthew being an alien.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And right now, on the last lap of the race, we can see that the situation is the following. Matthew remains in first. He probably win unless he gets a puncture. We hope he does. I mean, we hope he doesn't. Thomas in second. Pedro in third. He's threatened by Rocco, which he's getting really, really close to gaining that position, 3.0. Behind Reese, who probably, he's now 2.8, so unless Pedro does a miracle, he won't finish on the podium.
I was going to say another McQueen quote. If Matthew Walder got a puncture to give the fans a little sizzle, you know? I'm getting a little, I'm not actually sure what the word is, but anyway, this fight for P4 on track, at least it doesn't look like Lewis is giving up on it. Rocco just got it within 3 seconds of Pedro, so it looks like he'll be taking that spot as Brandon Glover maybe got momentarily passed again by Matthews. But we're going to go on board with Matthew Walder. He's going to cross the line in first, and he's going to take another win here in IRL. Thomas Tropies. It's debatable if he would have got that win without that safety car. I mean, obviously it would have been a lot more work for Matthew. But yeah, Pedro is going to come across the line in third, get jumped by Rocco Walsh. Lewis comes across the line in fifth, unless Brandon has anything to say about it. He's going to cross the line in fifth now. Lewis Curtis drops to sixth, and Matthews had too many pens, so he's going to stay in eighth.
But look at that.
30. Oh yeah, you were saying 37,000.
Yeah. That's insane. I mean, Brandon has really made a good recovery in this race. He started P14, was it P13? Probably.
Yeah, something. He wasn't too far up the grid anyways. Stan Spreen takes ninth, and Nicholas takes the final points paying position. Logan Aaron's going to come across the line to take 11th, as Julio was actually lapped in the end. He takes P12. And driver of the day, deservedly so, really, Matthew Walder. But I would say mine would be Thomas, to be honest, because really, I mean, of course that move wasn't the best, but apart from that, he did run a really good race to take P2 and what could have been a P1 if things were different. But Matthew Walder anyway takes the win ahead of Thomas Tropies and his teammate Rocco Walsh in third. Which, was that the podium I said? No, it wasn't. I said it 1-2. Never mind.
I think you said it. No, you said Matthew Thomas.
No, I remember.
I know you
I
said Thomas Rocco. Yeah, you said Matthew Rocco and Thomas. Yeah.
So not quite right there, but anyway, Matthew Walder takes the win. Thomas Tropy second, and Rocco Walsh rounds out the podium for another 1-3, second week in a row for Racing Point. Pedro Sousa takes P4, Brandon fifth, Lewis Curtis drops to sixth on pens, Patrick takes seventh, Mateus eighth, Spreen ninth, Nicholas 10th, and then outside of the points, Logan and Julio, and then Joey, Ollie, Kieran, and Charlie all DNFing earlier in the race.
And I have to say that my driver of the day probably is Brandon Glover. Why not Matthew? Why not Thomas? Well, Matthew, I'm not even surprised. I mean, he's the best of the grid. it doesn't even surprise me anymore that he has been able to pull out such a move. And then we have Thomas, which he did an amazing race, but he didn't win, that's why. And for me, Brand, starting P13, knowing that he's not the fastest, he's not in his best season, definitely he made a really good comeback, keeping calm and just doing the moves he needed to do. So that's why Brandon is my DOTD.
Yeah, and that's a fair choice. So, we're gonna get the top 3 in for interviews now. If you could add them, that would be nice.
Yeah, I will.
That's Matthew, Thomas, and Rocco.
Yeah, good thing that I had it. Yeah, give me a second.
And actually, we didn't mention it, but this is the last race for F1 in 2020. And next race will be next year, 2021.
Was Matthew on his...
CRG Blizzard.
Okay, I will in a second. Sorry I'm taking that long, but
yeah, no,
the new system is rubbish.
Yeah. I would have to agree.
Yeah, and actually, as you said, this was the last race of the year in F1, at least. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna say that we still have. Don't tell me he's also offline. Come on, guys, make it easy. But we also have the event, the Christmas event as always, probably the 27th or 26th, still to be announced. And yeah, tomorrow we'll have F2 and F3 as always. And when you switch off from this stream, please head to the 24-hour event, where some of the guys in IRL are racing. And not only that, I mean, it's
a really good cause, maybe, or something?
A really good cause, exactly. Yeah, thank you for helping me out. So please switch on. If you can donate, do it and just enjoy it. Kevin and me will be racing as well, so yeah, I think that could be good fun.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself.
And I'm about to invite them, add them to the chat so they can join. Come on, let me confirm the player. This cannot be this trash. Okay, now. I've added them. So yeah, they are now here. And let's hope that they can join. If not, we'll just end the stream. And in case he's now on his other account, I'm gonna invite Matthew on his Blizzard account. So yeah. Let's see if they join.
There's Matthew.
Yeah, and Rocco, yeah. They're joining.
And then we should be getting Thomas in a second too.
Yeah, we could start
just
by
so
Rocco.
We're prepared, then I'll take first and third and you take second.
Second was Thomas, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there we go.
So start
So
with
I'll
Rocco.
need a few seconds to actually load it in for me. Which is great. And yeah, there we go. So, Matthew.
Hello.
There we go. So, yeah. Obviously, you took the win today. You started 11th. And really a perfect strategy. Of course, you were helped by a virtual safety car, but... a good race, obviously. Matthew? Yes.
was really a question, so I didn't think that's.
I said like a good race as a like question kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I started 11th intentionally. I'm not sure if you saw that, but
Yeah, I thought
so I
that
could
was
do the medium
through
stuff.
going through the final corner. You were taking it quite slowly. I thought you were
Yeah, I was trying to get the right delta so I could get in the P11, and it worked. And I knew from previous league races that it would be better to do medium soft than start inside the top 10 and do soft hard. So yeah, Joey at the start had a really good start. He also started on mediums. I got stuck behind him for a bit, and I was definitely faster than him because as soon as I got past him, I was able to make moves, which he was incapable of doing. So his good start didn't help me much, but I still managed to pick up the win. Obviously, the safety car helping me, but there you see. I mean, but I probably would have got it anyway. That strat is just ridiculous. So.
Yeah, so you think you would have got the win without the virtual safety car then?
Yeah, I mean 15 isn't the ideal lap to pit anyway, 16's better, so...
Okay, well me and Paco were kind of talking about the hindsight of if there wasn't a VSC, at least it would have been closer by the end. There was like 6 seconds of a gap between you and Thomas, so yeah, I mean I guess congratulations on your win anyway. The next track that we're going to, as far as I'm aware, is China. Yes, it is China. So obviously that's going to be next year, a few weeks away now, as we have to break. But how do you think you'll do around China?
I dislike it a lot. I still hope for. I still hope for a top 2 at least, since I do consider it quite good for pad as well. So. Yeah,
and 2 pad drivers getting 2nd and 3rd today, so maybe they might be able to snatch a win off you, which leads us on really to Thomas Tropies then, who took 2nd. Obviously you were leading a good chunk of the race, and you also broke DRS really early on. You looked on for the win. Did you think maybe without the virtual safety car you could have held off Matthew? Do you think you would have been too quick anyway?
In the end, it doesn't really matter what I think now. The race is done. I did get held by Joey and Ollie. They were just battling the whole time. Honestly, I don't know what the hell they were doing. Just losing each other time cost me about 2-3 seconds just with them doing whatever the hell they were doing. And yeah, once the VC came out, and he was pretty much over, and he was going to get on the back of me pretty quickly, which he did. In the end, the last 3 laps I started to make gains, but yeah, the gap was just too big. And obviously I got a pen as well, which didn't help, of course. So, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that ended with a P2, which congratulations to you for that. It was a really good drive, and I did have you as my driver of the day anyway. So obviously it's going to be next year. China for the next round. Obviously Matthew, maybe not too optimistic. It is a bit of a pad track. You're on pad yourself, so optimistic for it?
Yes, very, very, very optimistic. One of my favourite tracks, so very optimistic.
Well, that's good to hear. So congratulations on the P2 and good luck for the next race.
Thank you.
And then Rocco Walsh took 3rd, right at the end at least on pens. So another really good race. No one really in the top 3 with bad races. So were you happy with that?
Yeah, I think that's the best position I could have got, because I think Thomas was a bit too quick, and obviously Matthew, I mean, went to a different country how quick he was, so I think 3rd was just the best I could have got. I mean, Lewis didn't make it that easy for me, because he gave me a bit of dirty air, and then I had to push without getting a pen, so it was quite a difficult task, but it was actually quite exciting to do. And yeah, I think that was the best I could have got today.
Yeah, obviously the DRS got broken a little earlier maybe than you expected, or maybe that you wanted. Do you think if you were able to stay in the DRS of Thomas just a little bit longer, stay a little more in it, that you could have been on for a P2, or do you think he would have pulled away anyway?
I think he would have just pulled away because I think he had a lot of battery. So I think, like, if I was with him with the pit stop, I think he would just break it on that outlap. But the car felt so different in the middle of sector 2 from quali, and I was not expecting it. So it's just, like I said, I think third is the best I could have got, and I think Thomas was a bit too quick.
Well, congratulations on your P3 then. And as was kind of said already, China is the next race. Pad track. Feeling good for it?
I don't know, to be honest, because I don't know. I think turn 1 to 4 I'm not a fan of, but I don't know. It's just I'm not expecting like a result today. I guess I'll just be aiming for like a top 5 because I'm not the biggest fan of the track, but I'm all right at it. So.
Well then, as I said, congratulations and good luck for the next race, and also congratulations on your win. I think I forgot to say that, Matthew. So, yeah, that would conclude. I'm sorry. That will conclude round 6 here at USA for IRL F1. As always, be sure to check out the streams tomorrow for F2 and F3, and also be sure to look out for information on our kind of Christmas little event that we'll be running on the break. So yeah, apart from that, thanks for watching and good night.